Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about how to recognize and deal with backstabbing bitches. And this video is part of my How to Deal with Bitches series of videos, available for free here on YouTube. So, how to recognize and deal with backstabbing bitches. Because here's the thing. You're going to encounter backstabbing bitches. And they're such a huge part of the subcategory of bitches that they deserve their own video. And they can have such a devastating effect on both, your individual personal daily life and in overall the quality of your life and how you deal with situations. And a lot of men in this day and age, they can't even recognize the backstabbing bitch. They don't even allow their mind to recognize that they're in a situation of duplicity with backstabbing bitches. Now, I made another video on a certain blindness in human beings, an homage to William James, right? The very popular child lyricist. So, I'm joking, people. So, But I really did make the video. But I came at it, from this angle. What I want you to recognize is that the things that you as an individual think of as important, and just like primary in life, whatever it is you're involved with, that's not necessarily what other people are seeing as the most important primary thing in life. You go ahead and take, the male-female relationship as the example, since that's, one of these larger topics of MGTOW. And the man and the woman get together, right? And the man is getting together based on this tremendous physical attraction and affection and connection that then morphs into this bond of also like an addiction, you know what I mean, to the presence of the female and interacting with her and all that stuff. So then he becomes addicted to it, right? And interestingly, that's pretty much when the female changes the nature of the relationship. So you see what I'm saying? There's kind of like a backstabbing bitch inherent right in the situation. The woman's behaving submissive and respectful and supportive towards the man. Then the man becomes enamored of her, fascinated with her, falls in love is the expression. And now she has him, and now she can treat him very differently. And it's a backstabbing bitch. You get together. Now, it's not limited to women, though. You know what I mean? Like, you get together with a guy to start a business. Let's say you're going to sell computers. You want to transform the world through the use of the internet, let's say. You have some noble motivation. And then you want to make some serious money, too, right? Okay? He wants to make some serious money, and he likes the idea, of making a difference, a positive difference in the world, right? So you think, that you're both on the same page, and, you're partners and you're working together, you're friends, whatever. But then as you get to a certain level, if you can get to a certain level, and you have to make a decision between making, this positive difference or just making this big profit, right? And you're like, well, we gotta make the big difference and it's going to pay off down the road. And your friend partner is like, no. Well, we're recovering from another audio glitch here at the Howard Dare Studios. We are in the process of upgrading a lot of the things here at the Howard Dare Studios. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate. We'll put it to good use. We can use it. Where was I? Yeah, so you've gotten together, you're working with your partner, your main goal is making this big difference in the world and making a lot of money in the process. His main goal is making a lot of money, and he's, wanting to make this difference in the world to kind of facilitate that. You come to this advanced point, and where, you have to make a decision between these two situations, and you're, of course, choosing to make the big difference and defer the profits, and he, of course, is saying, that's crazy, we're not going to do that. So boom, there you are, stabbed in the back, right? Backstabbing bitch. And it's this situation, it's not really, what I mean? It's like you both have different priorities. So, and you were, not you, but the one person is kind of fooling themselves. You know what I mean? They're hyping themselves up. So what happens? There you're stabbed in the back, right? Now, what if it's a partner, somebody you've been with for 30 years, and now she wants a divorce, and she's taking your kids, and she's liquidating the assets, she's kicking you out of the house, and now you've got, $4,000, a month to pay her in some, sort of bullshit retarded support because she started to cry, and she lied about you. Backstabbing bitch, okay? But recognize going into the situation, the male-female thing, he's in love. He wants to satisfy that hormonal need and urge, right? You know what I'm talking about. Sorry. And then he becomes bonded and addicted to the individual woman, and he thinks, here's my dealer, and she loves me, right? So he's got this certain blindness. That's what he thinks. That's basically. But she's looking at it, from the other point of view. She's saying, hey, man, I need these resources. I need the support. I need to be taken care of because, I don't have the same type of abilities. I'm not comfortable in this situation, so I'm just going to be really nice to this guy. I'm going to support him, and hopefully he's going to do right by me, So, there's her point of view, and then the man loses his job, right? And he's like, oh, she'll stick with me, because she loves me, right? And, she's looking at it, from the other way. It's like, well, if he loved me, wouldn't he be, providing well for me? So there's the blindness. And you don't recognize that the other person isn't looking at it the same way that you're looking at it. So the situation creates this backstabbing bitch automatically. Now, you're going to encounter this all through life. This is just, the surface of it, right? We haven't even gone into actual backstabbing bitches and how to deal with them. This is just recognizing that the situation is inherently ready to stab you in the back. And the more noble and the more naive you are as a young person, the more likely it is to happen. It's very tough. It's very difficult. So I want you to recognize that aspect of the situation regarding backstabbing bitches. Just recognize the dynamic at play here, okay? And it happens the same way on the male side. You know what I mean? Like man's getting together with some hot bitch, some hot woman, and over the course of the and everything's going good, and he's enjoying it, but over the course of the relationship, she becomes fat, ugly, and out of shape, and has a bad attitude, right? So maybe she's thinking, oh, he really loves me, he'll stay with me through these difficult times, right? But he's thinking, man, I'm not getting what I need out of this, and it's actually painful to hang around in this situation, so gonna have to excuse myself out of that situation. And she's not even going to, necessarily recognize that the circumstances kind of like forced his biology and physiology to come to that conclusion, right? So it's not even like an uncruel, it's not even like a cruel thing that that you're doing with the woman. It's just like, well, no, I just don't feel the attraction to her anymore, right? So the man stops providing the woman money, and she's just like, no, I just don't, have that friendly feeling towards him anymore. It's brutal. It's savage, especially since, she's tricking. The biology is, having the man fall in love. So there's the backstabbing bitch dynamic situation, and you need to recognize this basic pattern. So now let's get into the, details of dealing directly with a backstabbing bitch, because now what is the backstabbing bitch? Well, and I think you can understand that the backstabbing bitch is somebody who comes in and recognizes what your priorities are in a situation, lies to you and says, yes, those are my priorities as well. They have ulterior priorities, and they will betray your primary priorities. And they're doing this intentionally. You know what I mean? It's like somebody lying on their resume, or somebody putting on a whole bunch of makeup and saying, hey, look, I'm sexually viable, and, I can have children, and I like sex, and I'm healthy, right? So it's somebody intentionally lying, and then you buying into that lie and saying, hey, this person's going to be a great partner. And it's like, no, this person just wanted somebody to take care of them. And now they're going to use the full force of the social situation and the gynocentric system to, destroy the man. And it's biological, right? She is driven to do it. It's not like, oh, she's a bad person. Well, she is if she's doing it. But she is biologically driven to do it. Check out, a lot of my older videos, Dark Side of Female Sexuality, a whole bunch of videos on this. You should like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, okay? There's a lot of content here. And it's in context of the previous content. It's not just like, here's a separate video, that's just on a discrete subject, which might actually be a better idea for me. So that's what the backstabbing bitch is. Now, how do you deal with it, right? Because at first, you've got to be open, you've got to be honest, but you've got to be careful about your real motives and your real priorities. So you got to hold them back, right? And you've got to ferret out, you've got to figure out this person's motives that you're dealing with, right? So let's say you meet an attractive woman, you want to get together with the woman, you're getting to know her, you're becoming friends, and she just keeps pumping you for professional information. Pumping you, get it? And there's no exchange of affection or interaction or views. There's just, what can I do to get ahead in this part of the field? What can I do over here? What can I do over there? So that this is a potential backstabbing bitch if they're trying to deceive you regarding your priorities, what you want. So so the man's looking for this affection to fulfill this male mother need, right? The woman's looking for resources. She's going to pretend that she's going to be friends and satisfy the man's need for companionship, sexuality, not being lonely. Maybe he wants to have children. I don't know. So she's going to pretend that that's what she's interested in doing, but she's really just interested in the resources. So this is the nature of the backstabbing bitch, and you can see how it would play out. Even in like a work situation where, you and somebody else are assigned a project, you want to turn in a great project, and your coworker basically, just wants to play politics. You want to get something done on a team, like, football or something like that. You want to win the championship. Some of the other teammates, they just want to pass the time and get through, and, they have no greater ambitions, or just, they just want to get paid and move on. But they're going to, pretend. But the responsibility is on you to figure out the backstabbing bitch. And here's a very larger, important point regarding this, and then I'll finish this video up. And this is a really important point, because I believe that men are strong enough to deal with the individual backstabbings, okay? But I don't believe that men, especially younger men, are strong enough to deal with the duality of the situation that says, yeah, you're working with people that are basically here to stab you in the back so that they can fulfill their wants and needs at your expense, and they'll do what they can get away with, okay? But we sure don't act like that. That's not the open way that we interact. So there's the duplicity of the situation. And I believe that the good-natured person, and I guess this happens with women too, although women are by nature, performing this kind of a trick on the men. It's not just that you were stabbed in the back, okay? It's that you exist in a place where it's okay for anyone to stab you in the back, and nobody really cares about it. So that is what I believe destroys the motivation of the man, not the individual act. I believe he can recover from that pretty simply. And if you, told him, look, man, it's what you had to do, that was the situation, and that is the truth of it. Like, the man is taking it personally, and then he's saying, and the implication of this act is that life is unjust. He is taking it personally, and he's taking it as a statement upon all of existence. And I understand this, being stabbed in the back. Right? So why should I go out and work hard and try to get ahead and be truthful and honest with somebody else when they're just going to stab me in the back? And this applies towards everything, because it happened in this individual instance. And it happened to me, right? So it's not just that it happened to the man. It's the fact that that's the situation that he's in that really kills his motivation. But here's the good news, okay? It didn't really just happen to you personally. It happens to all the men. And it would have happened to you no matter what you did. Eventually, the situation would have progressed into the backstabbing bitch. So get over it. So deal with it. Take this horrible situation that life has put in your way, that made you deal with it, that was unfair, that was unjust, that you didn't deserve. Understand that it was going to happen to you and to anybody in your situation. Know that you could deal with the injury of itself, and then deal with the psychological aspect of it. Integrate it into your personality and move on as the stronger individual. And that is how you recognize and deal with a backstabbing bitch. Okay. So I'm going to end it there for now. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.